Although you
Your WavyOcho will react to the secret truth about behind Drake diss track.
might think the Drake beef is mostly between him and Kendrick, there is actually someone getting not nearly as much attention that's secretly the mastermind behind all of this. Now, we all know Drake recently released his diss track called Push-Ups, where he dissed multiple rappers including Kendrick Lamar, Rick Ross, Future, Metro Boomin, The Weeknd, J. Cole, and potentially subliminals across the entire industry. And firstly, you know
Nah, rappers dropping diss track back. Rappers be dropping diss tracks lately, bro. Shit crazy.
always going to look at this from a business perspective, and all of you have to keep in mind that music is a business. I believe that everyone involved in this beef knows that it is good for hip-hop. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's a fact. You know, rap beef is good. Like, it's competitive sport. It's competitive. Like,
And entertaining. All of these artists, yes, including Drake, their sales numbers are down. Hip-hop sales numbers across the entire genre are down. Now, I'm not saying that this is pre-planned and they're all secretly working together behind the scenes saying, oh, I'm going to say this, then you say that. No, it's not orchestrated like that, but all of them will make money and will benefit if their names are being dragged into this beef. They can release a single, they can release an album where they may or may not respond, and then the fans are going to tune in, leading to more streams and more sales. Beef has always been good for hip-hop. It makes money. You get what I'm saying. Now, in the track Push-Ups, Drake definitely threw some nice little jabs at Kendrick. He made fun of his shoe size. He called him a pipsqueak. He says he's
basically calling Kendrick a little nigga. Calling Kendrick a little nigga.
Extorted by his label, saying he is just as much of a sellout rapper turned pop star as any other rapper who did pop records for money. And yeah, some good solid jabs. Cool.
But didn't Drake do some pop records before, bro? Let me know, bro. I think Drake did some pop records before. I ain't gonna lie, Drake probably did some pop records.
There was one bar that is massively overlooked. Hugs and kisses, man, don't tell me about no switches. I'll be rocking every chain I own next visit. I be with some bodyguards like Whitney. Top say drop your little... Alright. In Kendrick's track, he said, y'all better get the switches, and that he's going to be snatching chains, to which Drake says, no, you're not. But the I be with bodyguards line like Whitney, it does obviously refer to Whitney Houston's 1992 film Bodyguards, but Whitney is also the name of Kendrick Lamar's fiance. Drake dragging Kendrick's fiance's name into this beef is huge in my opinion, and I think this is really where the beef is going to start. You have to remember that everything up until this point has pretty much just been about...
I mean, Drake mentioned Pusha T's wife, so it ain't no surprise.
Numbers, who has the most sales, who's the most relevant, who has the most cultural dominance, who's big three. It's just been strictly competitive until now. I mean, even if you think back all the way to Kendrick's Control verse, where he dissed every relevant rapper in the game, including Drake, he said he had love for everybody, but he wanted to murder them and take their fans. But this was just for the sake of competition, which we all agree is good for hip-hop. And even Kendrick's shots that he took on like that were pretty light and also strictly competitive. So Drake bringing up Kendrick's fiance, his family, is even a line that he thinks is taking it too far.
Well, it wasn't even about battle rap or any of that. It was just the information was too shocking. It was, like I said, it was on his part, it was a genius chess move. He obviously has no, like, you know, when it comes to me, he's not gonna have any like morals or respect. So the other elements of the record, whether it be like just like the shit that he's making up about like, my mom and my dad and all this like dumb shit, or
Push a violate on that song, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like he violated Drake whole life, bro. No funny.
or you know, obviously the part that hit me the most, which is like, you know, wishing like that my friend that has an illness like dies. Like that shit to me is just not really wavy. Like I'm just not really with that. Like, and when I did say,
yeah, I heard, and he violated his friend. I got some illness shit. No, that's fucking nah. But you know, there's no rules when it comes to hip hop shit, bro. You could say whatever. Like, there's no holding back.
Oh, there's rules to this. I didn't mean there's rules that anybody has to follow. Whether there was information that didn't get revealed or not, the point is like, there's just some unwritten rules in the sport for some people, obviously not for him, and that's fine, you know? There's a point where you're gonna wanna stop rapping. I'm sure I could say something about, your lovely lady or, a child or a family member, and you're just gonna wanna not really rap anymore.
So when Pusha T brought up Drake's family, his child, and his friend 40 who was unwell, Drake said that was too far. He also admits that's how Pusha won. So wouldn't mentioning Kendrick's wife by Drake's own definition be too far? It would, which is why I think Drake is being fully intentional here, and he wants to poke the bear and see what Kendrick is going to do, which in my opinion is really where the beef starts. It starts at the mention of Kendrick's fiance, and things could get ugly from
Should Kendrick violate Drake on a diss song? Are y'all waiting on that Kendrick Lamar diss? Let me know, bro. I'm not really a fan of Kendrick Lamar, like I said, bro. In previous videos, I'm not really a fan of Kendrick Lamar, I ain't gonna lie.
here. Like if Kendrick responds to that line directly, he might start wilding out, exposing personal information. Again, I don't think they're going to be sliding on each other's blocks, but I don't know, it could get a little messy. But if Kendrick ignores that line, then everyone can just kind of play it off and say, oh, that Drake was never talking about his wife. That line was about Whitney Houston. It was just about bodyguards. Whatever, forget about it. So it's definitely a strategic chess move by Drake. But ironically, the most overlooked mastermind in this entire beef is Metro Boomin. I believe he has the biggest role in this situation, but he isn't really getting the attention because he's not a rapper and he can't technically respond. The only line Metro received in push-ups was, "Metro, shut your hoe ass up and make some drums," but it's actually much deeper than that. It starts with Metro's tweet and delete rant about Drake. The Hip Hop All Day Twitter account was comparing the streams of Drake's Her Loss and Metro Boomin's Heroes and Villains. Her Loss is about 1.3 billion streams behind. Heroes and Villains currently getting 10 million streams a day. Her Loss 4 million. The gap is only going to widen. Then Metro Boomin chimed into the conversation and said, yet Her Loss still keeps winning Rap Album of the Year over Heroes and Villains. Proof that award shows are just politics and not for me. I don't care about awards, honestly. The true award and reward is knowing that the music I spend so much time on brings joy to the people's everyday lives. What's so funny about these tweets is that Metro is doing the exact same thing that DJ Khaled was doing against Tyler the Creator. Tyler went number 1, DJ Khaled went number 2, and DJ Khaled was pissed. And everybody was like, shut up DJ Khaled. You had everybody in the industry on that album, and you still couldn't compete with Tyler. But DJ Khaled based his argument off stream, saying,
I make albums so people can play it, and you actually hear it. It's called albums that you actually hear the songs. Not no mysterious shit, and you never hear it.
Like, dude, shut up. Igor was just a great album, that's it. Metro is kind of doing the same thing here. He's mad about an award, not necessarily going number 1, but Metro is an executive producer, DJ Khaled is an executive producer. The only difference is that Metro does have the capability and the ability to make amazing music himself and actually do the producing, and he didn't make some annoying video to post on social media, but I mean, Dante, you gotta back me up here. Like, he's clearly pressed. Like he said, I don't even care about awards. Then why did you tweet about it, bro? You care. But then he
contradicting yourself, man.
Deleted the tweet, so I guess that proves he doesn't care. And then Drake, a few months later, called him a tweet and deleter.
The non-believers, the underachievers, the tweet and deleters. You guys make me sick to my stomachs, fam. Honestly, if you guys want to look in my eyes, you guys want to do something? You guys, that's what I thought.
So hear me out. Metro believes in his heart Her Loss robbed him of an opportunity to win a BET award or a Grammy or some other award. So it makes sense why he would drop another album that's not necessarily rushed, but I mean, Heroes and Villains dropped like 15 months ago, and he already has We Don't Trust You this year. Especially considering Drake said he won't be dropping any more music this year. Maybe Metro is trying to drop an album and get the award that he thinks he deserves. Which would be so funny if Drake just said, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna do a surprise album. And he drops an album that gets an award over Metro again. That would be diabolical. Okay, if Drake drops another album this year, I think he watched this video. Because the ultimate troll to Metro would be to drop another album and intercept Metro's ability to get some award or get a Grammy or something like that. That would be Crazy. But additionally, it was on We Don't Trust You that Future took shots at Drake. He said on track number 1, "You my number one fan, dog. Sneak dissing, I don't understand. Pillow talking, acting like a..."
That's crazy. And Drake and Future did it. And they did songs together, bro. They did some fire songs together, Drake and Future, bro. It's crazy. Now they dissing each other, and years later, shit, crazy.
Fed. I don't need another fake friend. Can't be bout a hoe cause we sharing. In your feelings, why you playing, dog? I know, I didn't rap it, alright? I didn't rap it. And the only reason we knew this was a diss at Drake was because Drake's opening line in Push-Ups was, "I could never be nobody's number one fan. Your first number one, I had to put it in your hand." Which is true. I mean, surprisingly, Future had like 7 or 8 number one albums, but he never had a number one single until he collaborated with Drake. I think it was Way Too Sexy, which is like, Future deserved so many other number ones other than that, but regardless, it is true. But there really isn't that much history of beef between Future and Drake. Like, they're kind of friends, as far as we know. I mean, bloggers and YouTubers are now diving into the history and looking at all of these subliminal shots that may or may not be between these two, and there could be something there, but the only likely explanation that makes any sense is over a girl, and it's a really long story that's not worth getting into all of the details in my opinion, but the Spark Notes is essentially that Drake and Future allegedly have some beef over this girl who goes by the name Princess Diana, but then again, Future just said that the beef can't be about a hoe because they're sharing, which does prove that they have shared women in the past, but doesn't really seem that strong. So Metro is clearly mad at Drake, and Future might be lightly agitated, or maybe Future is not particularly happy with the way that Drake and Metro's relationship has sort of panned out, so it's time to take sides. Is Future gonna side with Metro or Drake? But you have to consider Metro's role here. He's an amazing producer. Some might even call him the best in hip-hop. You can work with a great producer for your whole career, but you can't really have a partnership unless you're a duo with another rapper. Like, if you're on Drake's side, what do you get? Okay, you get a feature, and you get kind of the cultural relevance by being beside him. You might get an Instagram tag, or maybe you get a whole collab album. Future has all of that already from Drake. He got all of the benefits that you get from being Drake's friend in the industry. So, kind of doesn't really need him anymore. Strategically, siding with Metro is better for the long term.
Yeah, Future's valid, but he don't need Drake. Future's valid. Future makes valid songs, bro. Future makes fire songs, bro. Like, no funny.
Plus, who knows how close Drake and Future actually are as friends behind the scenes. Maybe Future was always using him for sales. But Future and Metro do have a long history together, and they are from the same city. For Kendrick, the decision was easy. It was just, let me jump on the number one producer's album and take a...
Metro's from Canada? I didn't know that, bro. I thought he's from Atlanta or some shit like that. Hold on, let me replay that.
Plus, who knows how close Drake and Future actually are as friends behind the scenes. Maybe Future was always using him for sales. But Future and Metro do have a long history together, and they are from the same city.
My fault. I thought it said Drake and Metro. Oh, my fault. Like...
For Kendrick, the decision was easy. It was just, let me jump on the number one producer's album and take a shot at the biggest rapper in the game. But Metro benefited heavily from both of these situations. Then add The Weeknd into the mix, and Metro yet again benefited from that too. The Weeknd received some bars on Push-Ups as well. Firstly, Drake said that The Weeknd claims Toronto, but he isn't actually from there. Then he basically makes fun of The Weeknd's manager for paying Metro to put him on his most recent 2 albums, which, as you know, The Weeknd does kind of stand out on Heroes and Villains and We Don't Trust You. It's like, alright, The Weeknd's a singer, he's not really a rapper, like, he's kind of like the token singer on these projects. But again, why would The Weeknd need to be on Metro's album? Well, you guys have to think with your business brain. Sure, The Weeknd is a pop star, but he still needs that hip-hop coolness factor. He needs the approval of the hip-hop community to remain on top, even as a pop star. It's just a strategic marketing and branding decision. Like, rappers just kind of have this cool factor that's difficult to explain. They usually have the most poppin' Instagrams, they dress the nicest, they just have this cool aura or looming interest around them that our society are pop culture interest has just kind of given them? Why do you think Post Malone started with rap and then now drifted into pop and country? Why do you think Morgan Wallen wanted to collaborate with Lil Durk? Why do you think that pop stars want rappers to feature on their songs? Well, because they get this strong cultural cosign that is hard to quantify with dollars, but we all know that it exists. It's invaluable. And The Weeknd knows that he needs to maintain that. And how do you maintain that? Well, you get featured on Metro's album, where the whole hip-hop community is going to be tapping in to see who's featured on said album. The Weeknd chose to side with Metro because Metro will keep The Weeknd collaborating with the biggest rappers in the game and keep him relevant and cool. And Drake knows this. That's why he dissed it. As far as the Rick Ross beef, it just kind of strategically fit into Drake's diss. Drake just said, "F it, I'm taking on everyone." Drake said throughout Push-Ups, the theme of this track is that rappers need him for features, they need him for relevance, they need him to get their #1 song, and Rick Ross kind of fits in that boat. All of Rick Ross's top hits have Drake featured on them, but it seems like most of their actual beef history is over women. Again, because it's likely that any woman that Rick Ross can get, Drake could probably take from him. And Ross responded quickly on Instagram because he really doesn't have anything to lose. He started making fun of his nose and mentioned his mother and said that he has a BBL. He's calling him BBL Drake. Cupcake Drake. I feel like Drake knew that Rick Ross was an easy W. Like, no matter what Rick Ross says, nobody's going to take his side because he's old. He's almost 50 years old. So all in all, what do you think? Do you think it's possible that Metro could be the secret ringleader behind all?
Drake is almost 40 years old, so it don't matter. It don't matter. It really don't matter what your age is.
Well, this, or do you think I have it wrong?
Okay, that's the vid. So yeah, bro, like, let me know what y'all think about Drake diss track, bro. I ain't gonna lie, everybody dropping diss tracks back to back to back to back lately. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Mad diss shots lately, but yeah, let me know what y'all think about Drake diss track. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. You checking out you are.